Today, I want to talk about cryptocurrency. More specifically, let's talk about Bitcoin. Now, remember when Bitcoin was valued around $34,000 around October? And that's not even talk about the past. We're around 2015, 2013-ish area. Bitcoin was under a grand. $10 to $8, maybe almost $100. Well, it turns out the biggest cryptocurrency has risen up to $68,000 from the making of this video, which is insane. A lot of people were speculating it'll go lower, and now it boomed back up. And now today we're just gonna cover what happened. How did it get to this point? Before I continue on, a disclaimer that I am not offering any financial advice and I'm not telling you to invest in Bitcoin. This is more an informational video. So always find yourself a financial advisor before making any financial decisions, because this is America, unfortunately. But why? So ask yourself, one of the major reasons for its rise is because of strong inflows into the spotlight. Now, this is where Bitcoin ETFs were approved by SEC only recently. That is one of the reasons why it's for the boom. Now, what are these spot Bitcoin ETFs? In summary, let's put it this way. To condense it, spot Bitcoin ETFs are exchange traded funds that track the spot or the current price of Bitcoin. Now, by holding an equivalent amount of Bitcoin to back every share of the ETF that is sold, the fund itself is actually backed by Bitcoin itself. Now, think of this as the American dollar. Was it backed by the US government, or specifically the US Navy in this case? Now, for Bitcoin, this allows investors an easy way to add Bitcoin exposure to their portfolio, gaining exposure to the current price of Bitcoin without having to hold the asset itself. Now, what's an example of this? Let's say, for example, you can compare this to real estate ETFs, where you don't actually have to own a piece of actual real estate to have assets in that portfolio. So if you buy, like, say, investment or real estate ETFs, you basically buy a portion of real estate without actually owning an actual physical piece of a property. Now, this is another case for Bitcoin. Since the SEC now allows that, people decide to, like, hey, why not? Let's own a share of Bitcoin instead of buying the actual Bitcoin itself. This is basically, you can look at the S&P 500, or you buy basically index funds. You buy a fractional share of every top major company, or the top 500 companies in this case. Now, this is another example of it. Now, another reason for its rise, that Bitcoin halving event is also anticipated to occur around April 2024. This will push BTC prices even higher. The expectation is that the Federal Reserve could continue its pause on interest rate hikes and possibly raise as the economy stabilizes. But this could beg to differ, because recent videos and recent reports showing that inflation is still skyrocketing again. And even all their push to curb inflation, it has not really been doing so well. Now, another push from behind is that you have supporters for the digital currency to reiterate the importance of decentralized finance and the need to have full control over their own money without the bank's regulation that themselves find it difficult to stay afloat in a tough global economic environment. Just think about the recent financial report on the CPE inflation. Did inflation go down? Not really. So now it's now whether or not are they going to raise interest rates, or are they going to lower it? And a lot of speculation is saying that they're going to pause all the way and hold it until around summertime, where they start decreasing. Are they going to hold true to their word? Well, it's a gamble, 50-50. If you don't hold true to their word, you'll crash the economy. If they hold true to their word, inflation goes up and you still break the economy. Now, with all this being said, the future of Bitcoin really remains unclear. But one thing is for certain, that as crypto traders are benefiting from this current situation. Think about people who bought it around when it was like $24,000 up to 30 grand. Now it's like double its value, all-time high. Now, this really depends on the case, where you see Bitcoin's used for real life, or you can see Bitcoin maybe it'll have some type of value you can use to, like, buy every goods and services. Like, for example, you walk into a grocery store. Do they accept Bitcoin? Now, whether that's going to happen, that will really depend on the future and how is it going to be implemented in this case. So what do you guys think about Bitcoin cryptocurrency? Leave it down in the comments below, and remember to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.